Testing 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, let me see if I can pull up the window really quickly, everyone. Couldn't get any sound out of my computer and my keyboard, so I had to do some troubleshooting. And when all else fails, you just unplug everything and start over again, which is what I just did. Hold on 1 second, I'll be able to pull up the chat. And let me go there. And then I'll just pull up our chart for today. 1 second. What's up, Dad? First on. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is pull up our chart for today. All right, where is Satin Doll here? Here we go. Okay. Go back here and make one more adjustment, and then we'll be ready. There we go. All right, let's see. All right, let me turn on the track, and let's just go over the left-hand chords. I'll check the chat in just a minute. Oh, why can't I hear? Let's see. There we go. Let's do left-hand voicing. So D minor, we're doing 4-note voicings. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today, I'll check the chat in just a second. What's up, Vicky? Good to see you. Is we're doing, if you do D minor and you do D minor 9, the very first chords of the song, you can play, go up a minor third from whatever chord you're on and play a major 7. That gives us the 9. So, and you should practice those, just arpeggiating up and down. And so that works over the D and the G, and then when it's time for the next one, you just go up for E. When it goes up a whole step, it's like G major 7, and the same thing here, A minor, so right there I went to E minor 7. So that's a cool trick for whatever major chord you're on. You go up a major third and play a minor 7 voicing, so it's opposite, right? And then if you want to, at the end, when it goes to the A7 to get back, you can go. So you get that flat 9 sound, and then it starts over again. So that's if we're doing the third. Let's actually demonstrate that, but I want to show you a really cool trick that's coming up if we do the 5th. So you want to be able to do that where you arpeggiate. Then minor. Minor 7. All right, now for G minor, we'll do G minor. In F major, we go up a major third and play a minor 7. Minor, A minor. And then we go, starts over, last A. A minor. Another thing that you can do is you can go, There we go, G minor. So I just enclosed the third. Same thing here, we go. Again. One more time. I tell you what, while we're on this part, right, instead of just going up the minor third and playing, let's approach it by a half step below, which gives you the minor 9, which is a really cool thing to do. And then when you get to E, C major, we know we're gonna do a minor 7, so we'll approach that by a half step as well. Let's turn the track and I'll check the chat in just a second. 3, 4, so we have. Again. So let me stop this for just a second. So if I start on the 9th, I'm good there. And then when I did that same thing for E minor, I started on the 9th again. Here I could start on the 9th of A minor. And then same thing of A flat minor. And then back to C, we're gonna go. Just do an approach note from a half step below the third. Now when it goes to G minor, I'll do the same thing from the 9th. And then from the G as well. I'm sorry, for the F major. Back to A minor. Yeah, let's just practice that for a minute. So this is just the first one. We're going to do a really fun one in just a minute. We're going to go. Again. Minor. Minor. All right, now let's go on to the next one and make sure you guys understand what we're doing there. From a visual standpoint, there are a couple of really good things you can do. What is going on, George? George is on early this morning. Good to see you. You're probably on always early, George. You just wait a little while to say hello. So good to see you up front. So the first thing we're going to do that I want you guys to practice, I want you to start to associate. In our first position, we know that, yes, we could play D minor 7, and that's good to do as well, where you go. And if you're on a major, if you're on a minor 7th, you could go D minor, G7, or you could just stay here. We go. That's really important. But then we said, here's the third, right? We go minor 3rd. So I want you to practice going up and down, but also back from the top. Right? Now what we're going to do is add the half step. Okay, so let's actually, we'll demonstrate that one more time of different ways you can improvise with that one idea. But as before I turn the track, I want you to notice something. For D minor, I'm thinking F major 7, right? That gives me the D minor 9. But knowing that can help free you up for any F major inversion that you want. I could go, and then when I get to here, I'm on G for E minor. I think G major, and I could all day long think G major 7, and even G major 9. But right, G major 7 notes. Let's turn the track thinking about that as a nice way to practice. So right now I'm going to turn it on again, and at first for D minor I'll think F major, only F major 7 notes. We're going to go. Now G major 7. Now let's talk about once it gets to here on the minor, we have this. Notice that that's a C major 7, right? C major 7. So all my C major 7 notes are going to work. Right? And then I go down here, right? You have C major 7. Now you have B major 7 over this. And you can put the 9th in if you want. But isn't that cool as well? Get it in root position for sure. I always want to put the 9th in there. I just love that sound. So sometimes I'll say, yeah, put the major 7 in, and I throw the 9 in just because I love that sound. But start with this. Start with thinking B major 7 over that. And then back here, you're going to go C major, you think here, which is, for C major, it's A minor 7. Actually, you can just think C major 7, or you can think E minor 7, is what I meant to say. E minor 7. Because that gives you the 9 as well. So E minor 7 for all of those. You can always think a bunch of different things, but let me try that again in real time. So F major 7. Now G major 7 only. C major 7, B major 7, and the E minor 7. Major 7, C major, B major. All right, so right here I'm thinking B flat major 7. Actually, I jumped a step. If I'm here and I think there it is right there. B. You see how it's B major 7 right there? And what's neat about that is that's actually like the ninth of the chord. And you just heard me say that I love to put the ninth in there. I could go through this whole thing thinking about the ninths. Ninth, ninth, ninth. And right here you can think. Let's actually do that. Let me show you how that sounds. I love this sound right here. Thinking of the ninths. So just for days, just explore and have fun with that. I love the way that works. Let me check the chat and just see if you guys are resonating with that or not. All right, it's just the four of us this morning. All right, so let's go ahead and, oh gosh. Why is it set to members only? Oh my goodness. I switched it off. I'm going to try that again. Why does it say that? It shouldn't say that. I just switched it again. Well, that was crazy. I'm going to be in trouble. Okay, now let's keep going down the list here and go through a different idea. So we just did ninths and how awesome they are. And if you practice your minor third for D minor, you go up a third and you do that right there. You have that ninth right there we just talked about. Another really important thing you can do is go up a major third, and you do, so from D minor, I do the fifth. If I do an A minor 7 over that, so now I'm thinking 5 away, notice what happens. I have the fifth, the flat 7, the ninth, and the minor 11. How cool, or the 11. So I can go, And then over a G13, that's my 11, that's my 13, that's my 9, and that's my root. So that's why that works. So, and then for the E minor, I think a fifth away, and I think B minor 7. Now watch what I think if I'm here on A minor 9. Same thing, you go up a fifth away from that, I play a minor 7. And then for A flat, I go up a fifth and play a minor 7. And then when I get to that C, watch, I'm on the G. Let me make sure that's right. What am I? What should I? Hold on. We'd have to be on the major, the sharp 11, which gives it a little flavor. I hadn't even thought about that one. All right, I hope that somebody else will comes in the chat now that we changed the settings to what they should be. Okay, let's do this again. A 1, 2, and ready, go. So for D, G minor, I think D minor, a fifth away. Now for A minor, again, E minor. All right, so let's talk about putting all those together. If you play the minor third, we know that gives you the ninth, and it sounds amazing. If you play on the fifth, it gives you those nice notes there of the fifth, the flat 7, the 9, and then the 11 on top. That kind of gets you that honeysuckle rose idea. It also gives you this idea, if I'm here, I could go just D minor second inversion. Right? Whatever key you're on, you could do that. But let's stick with the arpeggios now. And now let's work on them as if you're practicing. You say, all right, for D minor, I could use the A minor 7. So now I'm going to go A minor 7 in any inversion and get used to that as well. We said you could do that for F major 7 and be thinking F major 7 for all those ideas as well. And then I'm going to show you something to bring it all together as we think a very simple idea over this. Okay, so remember that at first for D minor, you can think F major 7, G major 7, C major, E minor 7, A minor 7, D minor, and remember this idea that if I'm in C major, I can definitely go up and play an E minor 7, right? Which is the major third. That gives me my root, my third, my fifth, my 7, and my 9. Same thing on F. I can go up and play A minor 7. That gives me the third of F major, the fifth, the 7, and the 9 again. All right, let's see. Was having coffee. Looking YouTube says members only. Yeah, I don't think it says that now. What's up, Jeffrey? Most consistent man. Awesome. Gus says he's back today. I don't believe it. I mean, I believe that you're here back today, but you need to be more consistent, Gus. All right, Jeffrey, good to see you as well. Glad that you guys are here and wish that I had actually selected the right visibility from the beginning. That's my fault. But the good news is I have a backup and I'll upload it to the membership. Yeah, 4 likes. Thank you, Mr. Like Minister. All right, now the next thing I want to teach you guys is we just talked about how you're going to use those arpeggios. Like just hanging out on that F major 7 gets you the 9th. And how fun is it to start thinking about those ideas? If I'm in the key of, or if I'm doing Satin Doll and I go D minor, I know that I can play F major 7 and all those notes are going to sound good. And we also know that we can approach the F major 7 by a half step. So that's the 9th. And you can pretty much do this with any arpeggio. Approach it by a half step, and it's going to sound great. If you do the off beat and then the chord tone on the on beat, so I can go, and then on E minor, I think G major, and even if I think G major 9, notice right here what I just did. I went right there, and that's exactly what we talked about. Is I can think B minor 7. I think a fifth away as well. Isn't that cool that we can do that? If I do this right here, I'm thinking A minor 7 at the top. So, and good to see you, Vicky, as well, of course. All right, so let's try this again. Let's turn on the track and demonstrate some of this stuff, and then we're going to bring it all together by showing you a couple little things to connect everything. So F major 7, and I went up to the G. That gets me to A minor 7. G minor, I think B flat major 7. There we go, F major. I hope that you guys hear one thing that I'm doing is if I played the arpeggio and approaching it from a half step below, that's a really nice thing to do. Even when I did this for B flat, for G minor, I went, that's my 9th, right? A half step below B flat major 7. And then here, same thing for A flat. I'm thinking B flat major 7. Half step below. So you'll hear a lot of little half step ideas, and then when you get to C major, of course, you can always do what we've been doing lately and approach the chord tones of C major by a half step and do that. Okay, so let's demonstrate that again. So I'm thinking F major at first. B minor 7. E flat. Now I'm going to think G minor 9, which is B flat major 7. And then I went to F major and I think A minor 7. Let's talk about this for a second. So in one of our etudes yesterday we did, in the A train etude, we did like a half step below the minor 7. So that's a great thing you can do as well. You go B, so it's a half step but below the flat 7. And then when you go up to E, the half step below that flat 7 is the C sharp. Then here. Let's do that. Let's do a round of that. I'm going to approach it from a half step below the flat 7. 1, 2, 3. Again. Okay, let's talk about what I did there. That was kind of nice. I did this. I did a half step below the G minor arpeggio. And then I went up to the D minor, a fifth away from my G minor, which is D minor 7. And I went da 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 da. Is kind of where we're bringing this lesson home, is by saying, all right, you can use the simplicity of the triad and surrounding that third to get some really nice sounds. Same thing in the key whenever it gets to a C, right? We go. You can even put some Ray Charles sauce with it. All right, let me check on the chat, and then we'll see. We're going to go another 5 minutes, and then we'll wrap it up. All right. Are you guys enjoying this today? Let me know. Let's see. I'll let Jeffrey see where we are in the likes. Oh, we're at 6 now, Jeffrey. That's really bad. We only have 4 people watching and 6 likes. All right, here we go. So I'm going to approach it by half step below. I think I'm going to write out a little, some practice exercises for you guys so that it makes sense. We'll do, and I'll even try to include the fingerings as well, but that's not a bad one to do. And even notice that when I got up there, I'm on a C triad. Man, that's a good visual right there. I'm going to demonstrate that again. Notice that I get to the C. Starting on the 9th, I'll get up to the C triad. I go. Now D major, G major, F sharp, C. D major, G major, F major, G major, I'm making some notes here of what I'm doing, so I'll go back and watch this because there's some really good ideas that we can take from this. If I did this, and I think A minor 7. So if a fifth away, so here I'm on E minor 7, if I think B minor 7, right? Where I go. All those notes actually work, and when I'm here, and back to C, I go, I could go D major maybe to think Lydian sound. All right, let me check on you guys, and then we'll start to wrap it up, but I have a couple more things. All right, 8 likes now, 7 people watching. I will send out something to our All Access members and our Chord Academy that I messed up and put the wrong visibility on it. I don't know why it was set to that. I did not intentionally set it to that. But I will send a video, a copy of it. All right, let's turn this on and just kind of, we're going about 3 or 4 more minutes. And here we go. We have this. C major, B major, again F major, G major, all right, so B flat major. G major, A minor 7, B minor 7, C major. Okay, now you have those ideas. We started off from the very beginning. We said, all right, you can go D minor 7, yes. Awesome. And whenever you get to that chord, you go up and down. Then you can go to the minor third away and think major 7. That gives you the 9th. So D minor for the rest of this week, which is like a day. Think F major 7. And then you can also go up to the 5th instead, which is what I just did. I went and I did this. I'm arpeggiating an A minor 7 over D minor, which is pretty cool to do. And then the other thing we did is we talked about the importance of half steps and how you just get used to it. If you're on F major, you could go, I could go half step above. The other thing we did is we said you could go a half step below. If I go, I love that sound. Then see how that half step above and below is so awesome to do, right? Let's do it one more time. I go 2 and 3 and 4. And then for A minor 7. And for G minor. And we didn't even talk about how we did our licks from Take the A Train, right? Let's do a quick spin on that. If you guys can give me like 2 extra minutes, that would be awesome. This is from A Train Ideas. And I'm going to write you guys out a couple of etudes. Now I'm thinking scale. Again. There's that thing about the third. So what I just did is I did the minor, D minor, where I approached it a half step below. And then thinking C right there. And then you could do the same thing where I like that a lot. I think we could write some really good things to help you guys start visualizing those too. What's up, Vance? A minor 7, B minor 7. Doesn't that doesn't that sound nice, those extensions on the top? I love that sound. So what a great thing to be thinking about. A fifth away from your minor chord, D minor, and I think A minor 7, right? And then on E minor, I think B minor 7. And for here, I'm thinking for A minor, I'm thinking E minor. For A flat, I'm thinking E flat. And then back to there. What a fun thing to do there. Other than that, I'm just thinking approaching by half steps. Minor 7. All right, and your last 30-second tip is this. Yes, you can play scales and work on your scales like I was doing, little Dorian kind of thing. But another thing you can do is your 5-note pattern, like for major or minor. And practice that on your chords like this. I'll demonstrate this and then we're done. Here we go. E minor. Scales right now. Anyway, you guys get it. I'm gonna have to fix that backing track. It has a really weird ending there, and I thought I fixed it. All right, have you guys enjoyed this? Anybody else have any, what questions do you have as we wrap up this longer lesson? I think I'm going to do a mini technique workshop this afternoon. I got some really good exercises that are much needed. All right, guys. You have 45 seconds to say goodbye to each other for right now. All right, what you got? What's your title? Hey, George, before you go, I need to make sure, are these tips seriously helpful of kind of not only showing you guys etudes, but is it too overwhelming to be talking about arpeggios? Or is it just about right? I'm trying to go over and making sure, we get our minor sevens down and then we're able to do it. Yeah, sure. Might as well stay with 50 days to flying fingers. Yep. Yeah, we can do that. That's good. Good idea. I am going to relaunch the course, 50 Days to Flying Fingers. And I'm going to do it in a drip format, as in I've always done training on the entire thing. Like, here's how you do it, and here's real-time practice with me. You practice right along with me, but I'm going to drip it. Even though I've recorded all the lessons and everything, we'll do like you start day one, boom. 9 likes. Jeffrey, we're supposed to get to 10. Hey, we'll give it another 30 seconds or so and see. But yeah, I want to hear from, George and others. I want to make sure, like, when we're talking about this, I don't want to leave anyone in the dust. I want to make sure it fits with everyone's where they are. And if you're not there, I can help you get there. But I like the idea of even Satin Doll going through D minor, 5-finger pattern, D minor 7. You can use not a shortcut, but an addition of F major 7 or A minor 7. So you're putting all these minor 7s together, and then you just think scale wise as a great way to practice. See, if you get these ideas down, even in their most simple form, then 50 days to new you. And if you order now, you get... I like all these. 50 days to new you is a good reminder. Arpeggiation for dummies. I'll give you a why I'm relaunching this. You guys know that I have a shoulder issue that really affects my right hand, especially my pinky area, my fifth finger. I've never had problems until about 3 or 4 years ago with that being an issue in my right hand. And my right hand is where, I'm used to having just really good fluid motion and everything. But it's been a struggle with getting strength built up. So in addition to doing this for you guys, I'm going to make sure I'm doing it for myself as well, because I mean, I created my favorite course ever, 50 Days to Flying Fingers, which is available, of course, but I want to relaunch it in a drip format of going through it. But let me just give you a quick example. So if you did the Hannon exercise that people know about, the classical version, where you go like this. All right, Jeffrey, we did it. The likes minister has put it. So that's really good for your fingers, and you have to stay relaxed and stuff like that. But what I started doing is my own sort of rehabilitation is doing this. If I did this, I do this for me. So it's like this. It's not this, which is important in going slow and with the metronome, but it's more, for me, even exercise like this. Even as I'm doing this right now, my left hand, absolutely fine. I could fly all day long like that. Left hand, no problem whatsoever. Right hand, this finger is not working right, and this isn't either. So I'm going through my own rehabilitation of trying to get everything working again, and that's why I'm really excited about this. It's not about speed. And then for those of you who are watching and just now hanging out, maybe there's somebody out there that hasn't been following around with iMusicAcademy. I want you to do this one right here. And this is example 1, my 50 Days to Flying Fingers. But it's a C triad, and you just hold the bottom notes. So you go. So it's C, E, G, holding the bottom notes, and then you go D, F, G. It's hard to do, I promise you, if you've never done it especially. And then you turn it around, and you go hold the top notes, and then hold the F, and do F, D, and C. I have this, if somebody needs this exercise, email me, bob@imusicacademy.com or imusicacademy1@gmail.com, and I'll send you the PDF. Here's the full exercise. You do this 4 times. Then you reverse it. I'll just speed it up just a little bit. But anyway, that is one that I get my students doing every lesson. I say, hey, have you been doing your exercises? Well, I don't remind them every lesson, but I tell them to do it, because if you do that consistently, even this one exercise will radically change where your where your technique is right now if you're consistent with it for a couple weeks. Then reverse it. Now, for my retired guys and my people who have been playing a while and they're just getting back into it, or even for my beginners, I'm doing a new version of the 50 Days to Flying Fingers, which is going to include our 5-note blues scale. The original has this as well and ways to practice this, but I think it's important to make sure we don't leave people in the dust. That's one of the examples, and I recommend that for everybody. Spend time with a metronome on, then go to a different key if you can. And try to get some different keys. Vance, I always appreciate your isms. You're always funny with your words. And yeah, you guys make a good team there. Jeffrey, thank you for being the likes minister. Thank you, George, for hanging out today. So let me just do my goodbyes again for today. Dad, first on, even though he's out of town, he's first on. T-Man, good to see you. Vicky, good to see you. George, good to see you, and good to have you in the chat and talking with everybody. George having his coffee. Man, George was on it, was having his coffee and is saying members only. He's like, what's going on here? So thank you guys for pointing that out. Jeffrey again. Gus, good to see you out. And Jeffrey the Likes Minister. All right, so guys, do that, and even do this other variation on Hannon. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, for me, I've got to get my fourth and fifth finger working again like they used to, if I can do it. It's going to take some time. But it has to be just like this should be easy and effortless, and it's not right now. I can kind of relax and try to make it work. Left hand, you know, a lot of people have trouble with their left hand, and my left hand is no trouble there. It's my right hand, and it's all connected to the shoulder. So if you're having some kind of, like me, where something's not working right with your hands, it's usually related to something else. All right, guys, have a good one. I'll see you in the next one. All right, guys, have a good one.